Good afternoon, and welcome to episode 12 of Mimicking McCarthyism. This afternoon, I must address a significant development that epitomizes the very phenomenon this series seeks to illuminate. I have recently received a complaint from what appears to be the Northern Ireland Human Rights Commission, transmitted to YouTube, which endeavors to compel the removal of this series from this platform. This intervention necessitates a comprehensive and transparent response, both to the Commission and to you, the viewing public. Let me state unequivocally, any individual or institution that takes issue with the content presented in this series is cordially invited to engage directly with me. If you believe any information I have uploaded is inaccurate, inconsistent, or inconsistent with documented events, or misrepresents established facts, I welcome the opportunity to hear your perspective. Tell me specifically what you consider erroneous. Identify the discrepancies. Present your evidence. This channel maintains and has always maintained an open door policy. I extend a standing invitation to the Commission or any party with concerns to appear on this program or in a forum of their own choosing to discuss these matters substantively. Public discourse, transparent debate, and the unfettered exchange of competing narrative constitutes the cornerstone of a democratic society. We know this to be sure. The content presented in Mimicking McCarthyism adheres scrupulously to the GDPR, which explicitly provides for journalistic exemptions. Provisions within the GDPR recognizes the fundamental necessity of reconciling data protection rights with freedom of expression and information, particularly when processing personal data for journalistic purposes. Member states are mandated to provide exemptions or derogations for specific GDPR obligations where such measures are necessary to balance the right to data protection with the right to freedom of expression. The journalistic exemption exists precisely to ensure that data protection regulations do not unduly hinder investigative journalism and the circulation of information in the public's interest. Furthermore, this content is protected under Article 10 of the European Convention on Human Rights. While Article 10 enshrines freedom of expression and information, these two provisions must be afforded equal respect. For instance, where there appears to be a conflict, courts are required to determine whether a fair balance has been struck between competing rights. The European Court of Human Rights has consistently recognized that freedom of expression may only be subject to restrictions that are prescribed by law and necessary in a democratic society. Crucially, the exceptions to freedom of expression must be construed strictly, and the necessity for any restrictions must be established convincingly. Moreover, the press and media occupy an essential role as public watchdogs in democratic societies, with a duty to impart information and ideas on all matters of public interest. Independent journalists fall within that. That's encapsulated in public watchdogs as well. It is imperative to comprehend that what constitutes public interest, a concept that forms the foundation of journalistic practice and legal protection. That's what we'll be talking about. Public interest encompasses information that is relevant to the lives, well-being, and governance of society. It concerns the common good, matters that affects our health, livelihoods, quality of life, security, and democratic processes. Significantly, Public interest is not synonymous with what the public might find merely interesting or entertaining. The distinction lies between what is genuinely relevant to members of the public as citizens, as opposed to content that simply fascinates or satisfies curiosity. The public interest includes, but is not confined to, the following: one, detecting or exposing crime or serious impropriety, and illuminating unlawful conduct or ethical breaches that might otherwise remain concerned, like transnational repression. Protecting public health and safety, disseminating information necessary to safeguard the welfare of communities. Preventing the public, and this is an important one, from being misled, correcting false statements or actions by individuals or organizations that could deceive citizens, as those false statements that have been circulated about me at the university and by protesters here in Northern Ireland. Exposing misuse of public funds or corruption, holding public bodies accountable for their stewardship and resources, revealing conflicts of interest, identifying situations where those in positions of power may be compromised, as what this series seeks to do. Disclosing hypocritical behavior by those holding high office, examining whether public figures uphold the standards they profess, as the series seeks to do. Additionally, there exists a public interest in freedom of expression itself. The capacity to upload information, challenge prevailing narratives, and engage in robust debate constitutes an intrinsic societal good. Journalism serves as a watchdog for democracy, holding those in power accountable and providing the public with essential information for informed civic participation. Without robust protections for journalistic activity, the stringent requirements of data protection could hinder the ability of journalists to collect, process, and share information that is indispensable for public discourse and the functioning of democratic institutions. The Northern Ireland Human Rights Commission should wish to clarify, if it wishes to clarify the matter on a public forum, as their past, I believe that they should wish to clarify this matter on a past forum, as their past treatment of me has directly precipitated the inception of this series. Mimicking McCarthyism was conceived to address precisely the type of institutional behavior that manifests in this takedown request: the suppression of legitimate discourse through intimidation, the deployment of formal mechanisms to silence criticism, and the making of allegations without affording me a transparent forum to respond. Everything presented in Mimicking McCarthyism is predicated upon the lived experience, my lived experience, and corroborated by evidential documents, published books, and other verifiable information. This series is not speculation, it is not conjecture, nor is it a fabrication. These are documented occurrences, matters of public record, and testimonies grounded in tangible evidence. If any party disputes the accuracy of the information presented, I reiterate my invitation. Come forward publicly, specify your objections, and present your counter evidence. Transparency demands nothing less. Thank you for watching.